Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, August 21st. I'm Denise Douglas. Thank you for joining us today. It was quite the shouting match today in court. Tensions erupted between an alleged assailant's mother and the family of the victims killed in a Clinton home late last week. 25-year-old Antonio Williams appeared for a bond hearing in Upper Marlboro, but things did not turn out as expected. What was supposed to be a bond hearing for 25-year-old Antonio Williams turned into chaos in the courtroom, starting with Williams yelling for his mother as he was restrained and brought in by several guards. He continued shouting, "I'm not the one you are looking for." The judge repeatedly asked him to focus and settle down.
Again, this was just excruciating in terms of the painful display. You have two fathers who were in the courtroom this morning grieving, quite honestly, for their daughters.
Williams is charged with brutally killing his 6-year-old sister, Nadira Withers, seen in this picture, and their cousins who were visiting from New Jersey, 9-year-old Ariana and 6-year-old Ajaya Decree. Their bodies were found in a basement bedroom in this Clinton home by Williams's mother. So was Williams, who never left the scene, and police say later confessed when he was arrested over the weekend. In court, he continued to be disruptive, and the judge ended things by ordering a competency test.
It is our expectation that he will be found to be competent, that he cooperated in an interrogation process and such. We have every reason to believe that he is competent, but certainly that is for a medical professional to make the determination whether, as of today, he's competent.
But the drama was far from over. As Williams left the courtroom, his mother, in this group of folks here walking out, yelled that she loved him, starting a chain reaction. The fathers of the victims hollered back numerous expletives. In fact, one had to be held back when he tried to lunge at her.
The mother in the case, of course, came and of the defendant and made comments that really did incite further pain. The message has to be, I've said it before, and I am going to continue to say, be careful who you leave your children with. It is critically important. Our children are all we have. We are their single best defense. And an individual who seems unfit in any way to be in the presence of a child certainly cannot care for that child. And so,
still no motive in that case as far as we've been told. Williams is scheduled to be back in court next Tuesday morning at 10:30. A Prince George's County public school aide who admitted to sexually molesting more than a dozen children learned his fate today. Deontay Caraway told the judge that it was never his intention to harm the children he assaulted, but the judge wasn't buying it. CTV News reporter Bruce DePoit has our report.
After hearing from both prosecuting attorneys and the defense, Judge Deborah Chasnow sentenced Deontay Caraway to 75 years behind bars, the judge telling the defendant he caused massive harm to the children he assaulted. Government prosecutors say it was a nightmare for the victims, children as young as 9, forced to perform sex acts on Caraway and on one another, all while being filmed. The acts occurring inside Judge Sylvania Woods Elementary School, inside a municipal center, even inside victims' homes. The government accusing Caraway of pretending to care for the children in order to gain their trust. Defense attorneys argued that Caraway himself was the victim of an abusive childhood and that he needs treatment, not a lifetime behind bars. But the judge noted that Caraway took steps to shield his activities from others, suggesting he knew he was doing harm. She told the defendant, quote, "You have forfeited your right to live in a free society." Relatives of the victims, speaking to reporters off camera after court, called Caraway a monster, saying he should have received the 100-year sentence sought by prosecutors. Caraway still faces trial in state court on additional charges involving additional victims, and there are civil suits as well. The likelihood of him ever seeing the light of day again is close to zero. At federal court in Greenbelt, Bruce DePoit, CTV News.
Thank you, Bruce. Bruce also tells us that Deontay Caraway addressed the court briefly before the judge imposed her sentence. He said he feels ashamed by what he did, but maintained he's not the monster people have described. The next court date for motions is scheduled for September 28th.